Now, this is a beautiful quote. I love this one, which says, listen with your eyes, not just your ears, right? And of course, that's the whole kind of beauty of face-to-face meetings, whether they're in-person face-to-face meetings or even Zoom or video chats that happen, right? Because you are supposed to listen with not just your ears, but also your eyes, where you can read the emotions of the other person. You can read feelings of the other person. You can read the reactions of the other person. You can read whether through your eyes, whether the other person has understood the thing or not. You can understand how he feels about these things. So very important to use your eyes again when you're listening to people. And please make eye contact then and pay attention to it. Very often, especially in India, and I'm sure this happens all over, but in Hindi, our parents would, especially if they thought we were lying or deceiving them in some way, they would very often say, "Aankhon mein dekh ke batao," right? Because they knew that, if I look into your eyes and I actually kind of look into them, I will know, based on what your eyes are telling you, whether you're lying or not, right? So that's the importance of listening with your eyes and not just your ears. Okay, while interacting with multiple people, make eye contact with everyone present, right? So sometimes you're talking to 2 to 3 people. This is something that needs to be done. It is so impolite and a sign of somebody that doesn't have manners is if you have 3 or 4 people sitting on the table, and in your personal life or professional life, if you're talking about something, ensure that you're making eye contact with each one of them, right? People often feel insulted. People feel left out. If you don't do that, whether it's in a formal business setting or an informal personal setting, right? It's very, very, very insulting to people when you don't make eye contact with them when you have several people on the table. It's very good etiquette if you do that, right? So please put it into action. Even when you're in business settings, and if you have probably 3 people sitting on the table, you have one person who's extremely senior and probably 2 people that are junior. Just because a certain person is senior, don't just keep looking at him, right? Look at everybody that's involved in that meeting. That shows a certain amount of maturity from your end. And of course, like I mentioned right at the start, is, shifty eyes, constantly looking at a person, like having those shifty eyes, looking here, looking there, can make you seem unsure about what you're talking about, underconfident, or like you're hiding someone, right? Again, very difficult to talk about this subject besides this, because it's just such a difficult thing to explain in a way, the topic of eye contact. But I think this much is good enough for you to actually know the importance of it and start doing it. Arunima has appeared on the screen, so I'm sure she has a question. Yes, Arunima.
Yes. Could you share some tips for people who feel nervous about making eye contact? So we're talking about the importance of it, and we are telling them how to make it, but how do you first get started? Because they may feel that, okay, if I look at a person, I get nervous. I've heard this from people that they don't make eye contact, not because they don't know how to, it's just they're scared, right? So could you shed some light on that?
Yes, my simple tip, and again, I don't have some pill on it, right? Some easy kind of formula of how you go about doing that for people that feel really nervous. What I tell people is start small and build on that. Start small and build on that, which means make eye contact with the person. If you are comfortable making eye contact for 5 seconds, like that's what you're naturally comfortable with, 5 seconds, try to push that to 7. Right? Like push that kind of limit of yours a little, right? And then once you start pushing it with 7, kind of the minute you start feeling uncomfortable, push it a little more, right? Push it to 9 and push it 10 seconds. And then you'll find that over a period of time, it's completely fine. You can make the eye contact without anything. So my advice to people that don't make eye contact is start small and keep pushing your limit a little bit over a period of time. And Arunima, literally within a month's period, you can start doing this if you keep this. But you need to be very conscious of pushing your limit every time, doing a little more than you're comfortable with. They often say that about running, right? So they say that, after you're like really tired, do probably 5 minutes more, right? After you're really tired. And exactly like that, after you feel really uncomfortable making eye contact, do it a little more. Because what happens is, unlike many other things that are truly dangerous, making eye contact with people is not a truly dangerous thing, right? It's not going to bring you, you're nervous about it, but it's not going to really harm you in any way. And what you need to train your eyes, your mind to, more than anything else, is, I pushed the limit and nothing really happened.
Correct.
So that's something that you need to keep in mind. And of course, the eyes play such an important role, right? And what you do with your eyes plays such an important role, because we're going to cover this in the topic of listening, right? We have an amazing session for you all lined up on listening, but we talk about it, right? So when you're listening to somebody, say if you're on the phone, you need to be careful about your eyes again, because if you kind of if you look anywhere else, that can distract you from listening. So your again, eyes play an important role in what you do with them, right?
Correct.
But of course, here, start with just making eye contact with people. Push your limit a little, push your limit again. That's great advice, I think, on it. Does that